Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and Where the 99 Leads is a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, and the 99 referring to those historic 99 steps that lead to campus, but more importantly, lead from campus, back into the community and into our world. We have a special program today. We focus on the Kentucky College of Optometry. So much excitement around campus, around the community for the Kentucky College of Optometry's inaugural class. They'll be arriving in just a few short weeks, and the Kentucky College of Optometry becomes another part of our campus and our community. Joined by a returning guest today, Lauren Hensley, health profession recruiter and advisor, joins us again. Lauren, you're still somewhat new to the community.
I am.
But welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Let's get a quick rundown. Tell us about your background before arriving at UPike.
So home is West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia, not too far from here.
You're
That's
a
where
neighbor.
my family is. I am a neighbor close by and have spent many years in the business world, and I'm really lucky to be here at the University of Pikeville.
And of course, the Kentucky College of Optometry. Exciting times.
Absolutely. Couldn't get more exciting than this.
And for a recruiter, someone who's out recruiting students, wow, you've got the excitement of a brand new school to recruit for.
It makes it easy to sell.
I would imagine so. You've brought with you Brittany Hall, Coordinator of Academic Success. Brittany, welcome in.
Thank you.
Tell us a little about your background, your first trip to Where the 99 Leads. We've got to find out where you come from before arriving here.
Well, I come from a small town in Virginia. It's called Hurley, but I'm pretty local, only about 45 minutes away.
You're a neighbor too.
Yeah, I am. I actually attended the school when it was Pikeville College.
Right.
So I graduated in 2009, and my background is in recruiting, and I just kind of found my way back home to the school. So I'm really excited to be a part of Keiko and everything that's going on.
Coordinator of Academic Success at Keiko, because it's everyone's intent for each student in the inaugural class and beyond to be academically successful. That's the goal. The mission is out there. We're going to talk about that today as well. But Lauren, the College of Optometry has accepted the first class. The last time we talked, some of those first acceptance letters had gone out, and you were hearing back from potential students. Classes are set to begin this fall. Let's talk about that first class. How many students are coming to campus?
64.
64. Where do they come from?
All over the United States. So we have a really diverse class, and we're really excited about that. We saw applications from all over the United States, even Alaska. But we've got a very strong representation from the state of Kentucky, those students that want to come back and serve the people of Kentucky, but we also have a great representation from all over the United States.
Sure. Let's talk about the mission of the Kentucky College of Optometry. As we think back about KICOM, the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine, the original mission, focusing on primary care physicians in Central Appalachia.
Right.
The Central Appalachian region was a focus. The Kentucky College of Optometry, how is their mission relative?
It's certainly very similar. Our focus has been Central Appalachia. There are currently no optometry schools really in West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So we actually had a great market niche here and a need in an area in Appalachia that is traditionally underserved.
Sure.
So it's definitely was our target focus this year. We were lucky, though, to see students coming from all over.
Yeah, 64 slots.
Yes.
How many applications did you weed through?
642.
Wow.
642 in a matter of weeks.
And the cream rises to the top, though, doesn't it?
They certainly did. We did 114 interviews to find those students that we chose. So we, brought 1/6 of the students here on campus to see the University of Pikeville.
We talk about that inaugural class, and I immediately think, okay, these are students that just graduated with a bachelor's degree from colleges throughout the country. But that's not necessarily the case, is it? We have those that are just graduating, receiving their bachelor's degrees, but you also have students that potentially are looking at a second career. They've done something else and now going back to school.
We do. We had a lot of major changes, if you will, where we had business leaders. And what great kind of collaboration, business and optometry, the ability to run your own business as well as be a physician. So we've had many students that have come in with business backgrounds as well as worked in optometry offices, worked in hospitals and for ophthalmologists. So we have a really good background of experiences that are coming in that will help shape just a really good academic kind of environment.
Sure. You talk about many students from Kentucky and
Yes.
from Central Appalachia. You do have an advantage because we've talked about this before. Let's talk about the fact that there are no optometry schools in our general area. There's a hole in the southeast, if you will. Talk about the closest optometry schools outside of Keiko.
Well, the closest ones would be Ohio State. It would be IU, Indiana, or Southern College of Optometry. There's one in Birmingham. Southern's in Memphis. So, you know, we have this whole niche over here that they were having to travel hours to get home. I can tell you that we've seen quite a few applicants from North Carolina, and they are coming about a 6-hour maximum drive to get here. So we've seen quite a draw from those applicants in those states.
But again, the students from all over the country.
We have. Yeah.
But obviously coming from the southeast. We talk about the mission of KaiCom.
Yes.
Keiko has a similar type mission. Can we talk about that?
So the mission of our school is really, one, to give them a great education and for them to graduate and be exemplary optometrists. But two, it's to serve the people in rural areas, Appalachia and Kentucky. So not necessarily just Appalachia and Kentucky, but definitely rural America. Currently, 40 of our students in our class of 64 are considered mission students. So these are students that are coming from, and that's about 61% of the class.
Sure.
61% of our class is really coming from these rural areas, and they have a real desire to go and serve those individuals in those rural areas. So I think we've done a really great job of meeting our mission as a school, and when we've identified the candidates that we have accepted offers here at the University of Pikeville.
Hundreds interviewed for
Yes.
these 64 spots. They come from all over the country.
They do.
They come from the southeast, but there are different regions within the southeast. As I've traveled and in my adult life, I have found that, and our particular Central Appalachian region pocket has a certain reputation. As those students came to interview at UPike, at Keiko, what type of things did they mention upon their first visit to our area?
I think the first impression was, this is a family. I had a mom that called and said she was going to write a letter to the mayor because she said she had never met kinder, more helpful people, not just in the school
Sure.
and as a brand of a school, but also in the community. With everywhere she turned, people were willing to help. And I think that was really met, and that was the first impression, is everyone is so unbelievably nice, and it just feels like home.
Sure. Any surprises that they learned about our area? Because there are stereotypes that our area has, and we can be thankful for, and try to shake off a little the Hatfield-McCoy thing.
Oh, I don't think there were any stereotypes necessarily that I heard, but I did hear, you know, when they were driving, they just didn't see any lights and it was all black ground. And then they realized when they got here the next morning, oh, they couldn't see anything because those were mountains.
Right.
So they were coming from Central Plains or Illinois, and where it's very flat and you can see for miles and there's light in the distance.
Right.
It was so dark here.
Yes.
And on the roads.
Yes.
So I think that they were excited in the morning. We had some students that had never seen snow before, coming here seeing snow for the first time. So it was
Wow.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They come to UPike and the Kentucky College of Optometry, and I've got to ask the question because as I was driving in for our taping today, I look down Hamley Boulevard and I see great progress in the construction of the health professions building.
Right.
But classes begin in just a few weeks.
They do.
Students arrive. Tell us about the game plan for the inaugural class going to classes.
Well, the great thing is we have so many great resources already here on campus with Armington Learning Center. That's where KaiCom started.
Sure.
So we're able to use some of those same facilities. We've got temporary facilities here in the CTC building that's right near the Hilton Garden Inn that we've already got our equipment ready to go for our students. And then we've got this great partnership with KaiCom, as our students will be learning right alongside our medical school students. So, you know, the university has provided just such a great environment and a learning environment. We're all excited about the new building, and that's all you see when you drive down Hambly right now. But we already have great resources here on campus.
It changes weekly.
It does.
And I travel Hambly Boulevard on a regular basis, and I notice the changes practically daily of how much work has gone in. It seems that they're ahead of schedule, because scheduled opening of that building is when?
December 19th
Yeah.
is the scheduled opening, and we will move into the building then, and our students will come back hopefully from break and move directly into classes there.
I had a chance to talk with the dean, Dr. Bazzelli, and the excitement on his face. He just lights up and wants to talk about the building. And the chance I had to talk with him, the building was just going under roof.
Right.
And I thought he was going to jump out of his clothes. He was so excited.
I think we have the best facilities in the nation.
Oh, sure.
So who couldn't want that as a dean?
As a recruiter as well. Brand new
Right,
optometry school, brand new building, great facilities, family type atmosphere on campus and in town. And you've got a coordinator of academic success alongside you've brought in as well. And Brittany Hall, you've been involved with this inaugural class as well. Give us some more information, some things that you took away from this class.
I have. Well, like you said, I've been very involved with Lauren in recruiting since I've come on with the college, and she kind of touched on this earlier. We do have a very diverse class. We have all types of students from all different types of backgrounds. A lot of our students actually come from optometry families, and these students have chose us for their education over others.
Very interesting.
So we're really excited.
You talk about diversity, and we talked about those coming straight out of bachelor degree programs, but also second careers. Do we have an idea what is the average age of the optometry student? I may put both of you on the spot, and I don't want a specific age, but are these traditional right out of four-year college, or are they leaning towards a little older?
No, I wouldn't say that they're leaning a little
No.
older. I would say we definitely have the outliers on both sides, right? You actually don't have to have a bachelor's degree to come to optometry school, 90 credit hours. So we have some that are just turning 20.
Wow.
And then we have some that are in their early 30s that will be coming here for school. So I think it's a great mix of life experience that will build the foundation for them all to learn together really well.
Very good. Lauren Hensley, of course, health profession recruiter and advisor at the Kentucky College of Optometry, one of our guests today. And Lauren, as you're recruiting, as you're interviewing, as you're talking to prospective students, you're talking to them about Keiko. There is no history of Keiko. Brand new school, that's an advantage. There's the newness, there's new construction. As the newest optometry school in the country, what do you tell prospective students that is unique about Keiko?
Well, I think you hit on it earlier, the building, right? We're really marketing that. And this great all new equipment, all top of the line, great learning environment, the newest classrooms and learning methodologies. But also for the state of Kentucky, you can come here and graduate as a surgeon. We have an expanded scope of practice for optometrists to practice in the state of Kentucky, where they can do certain laser eye procedures, laser surgical procedures, removal of lumps and bumps, injections. So they can do this, and that expanded scope of practice, which there's only 3 states in the United States that afford for this for optometrists, they can come here and have a leg up on all the other optometry schools and graduates in the nation. We're the only state, besides Oklahoma has a very small school there, that offers this, and within our new building we'll have 2 laser surgical suites. They are actually going to be able to graduate as surgeons. So that's a huge selling point as hopefully they graduate, go back to their states or their rural areas and continue to campaign for this expanded scope of practice for optometrists.
How many prospective students that you talked to that you had a chance to interview, they were aware of this before you ever mentioned it?
Absolutely. I'll tell you, besides Kentucky, Texas, and California were our other 2 top states. And when I would ask the students why they wanted to come to the state of Kentucky when they had never been potentially past the eastern side of Mississippi, and they would say the expanded scope of practice. I want to work with lasers.
Sure. And it's certainly something that's been going on in the optometry field.
Right.
But as you said, only 3 states,
Only 3 states, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Kentucky.
right, that will graduate those that can perform laser
Absolutely.
surgeries.
And we have students from Oklahoma and Kentucky coming here to get that education.
How about that? Very
great.
interesting. Brittany Hall, a coordinator of academic success at the Kentucky College of Optometry, our guest as well today. And even though the inaugural class is set, 64 students, they arrive, they'll be here on campus in August. Recruiting's begun for the second class. Tell us how that's going.
It has. It's actually going great. We have recruited at several schools thus far, Vanderbilt, Marshall, Moorhead, along with multiple others. We've talked to a lot of very eager students, very excited students. We currently have multiple interviews already set up for the class of 2021. So we're looking forward to getting those started, and we're really excited and really positive about the applications to come.
Lauren, she said 2021 just now.
2021.
And you guys are thinking 4 years out, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Because the incoming class, the inaugural class, will be the class of
2020, arguably the best year ever to graduate as an optometrist.
The first graduating class
Yeah.
from the Kentucky College of Optometry will be 2020.
2020.
I don't know how you have a second class after that.
I don't know. I see lots of fun with T-shirts in the
Yeah.
class of 2020.
That
but
is a lot of fun. You talk with a lot of students completing their undergraduate careers, of course, and saying what's next. Some may be considering professional school, but haven't made up their mind. What do you tell them about the optometry profession that might lead them to go that direction?
What a great profession. 65% of all optometrists own their own or own their own business, right? So you could work for yourself. That's a major luxury. There are so many different areas that you can go into to work as an optometrist, working for, in industry and working for a college like this, working in research, working at a hospital. There's just so many different areas that you as an optometrist can go and serve patients. And so I would say there's a flexibility there as well. Certainly in the state of Kentucky, we are in need of optometrists. 77% of Kentucky is medically underserved. So what I would say is, as those 20 students in the first class, what better place to become an optometrist in a state that people need you for their health care?
Absolutely. I know of a few locally that have recently retired.
Right. And they're looking, some are even looking for students, graduates to take over their business.
Exactly.
So what a great time.
Absolutely. And those guys that have been a part of our community for a
Absolutely.
long, long time, that have taken care of our eye care in this particular community. And you have to think there are communities all throughout the region. It's an exciting time to be in Pikeville at the University of Pikeville and the Kentucky College of Optometry. Brittany, when you're talking to potential optometry students, why do you tell them they should consider attending Keiko?
Well, anyone that wants to be a part of changing the face of this region should want to be a part of Kentucky College of Optometry. We have a unique clinic model that our students are going to have access to. They are actually going to be able to go out and treat some of the 77% of the patients that are underserved, they're medically underserved in our area. They are going to be sent out to federally qualified health centers to where there's real patients that have real needs.
Sure. Keiko, Lauren, you mentioned prerequisites.
Right.
You don't have to have a bachelor's degree to become a student at the Kentucky College of Optometry. That requirement is not there. There are certain prerequisites, though, before they can attend.
Absolutely. Some of those prerequisites very closely align with majors in chemistry and biology, but you would need to take classes in biology, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, English, statistics, physics very much. So those are some of the prereqs. If anyone ever had a question about prereqs, we really urge you to come talk to us. That's part of our job. We want to form those relationships too, and it's a great opportunity to have that dialogue. So anyone that's watching, and I'm hoping there's millions watching, that you come and talk to us about your prereqs.
Absolutely. And of course, the Kentucky College of Optometry accepting applications now for year 2?
Absolutely.
And Brittany Hall, I know you're excited about that. I mentioned the second year, the second class, and you knew 2021. That's how you refer to it. And I would imagine as you guys are in the office, that's how you refer to these classes.
It is.
This is the 2020 group, 2021.
Yes.
And it won't be long, you'll be recruiting for the class of 2022. But Brittany, the university has leveled the playing field somewhat. As we learned about ChiCom and the story there, the osteopathic students had many benefits included in the cost of admission, in their tuition. And Keiko has done that as well. Tell us about the Keiko Advantage.
Well, the Keiko Advantage does do exactly what you just stated. It levels the playing field for the students so that all the students coming in have equal education opportunities as those who may have more resources available to them.
Tell us what that means.
It's going to include things like their ebooks and textbooks. It will include all their optometry equipment, things like their iPads, laptops,
Sure.
national board review, national board preps. It'll include things such as their white coats, their scrubs. It'll also include a CrossFit membership. We're offering that to our students as well. Altogether, it's roughly, give or take, a $17,000 value for our students that they don't have to worry about. They don't have to be concerned about paying in addition to paying their tuition for this school.
They don't have to go chase down items that a med student
Right.
might look for, a stethoscope. You don't have to
Exactly.
go shop for those. They don't have to go shop for textbooks.
Exactly.
The laptop, those electronic devices that we all must have in everyday life, those are all included in the
Yes,
cost
we
of
will.
tuition.
We will be providing that for our students.
And that is the Keiko Advantage, and I would imagine that is a huge plus
Yes.
for students.
Absolutely.
Lauren, as you talk to students that maybe have applied to Keiko and other schools, are there similar programs out there?
Not necessarily from a Keiko Advantage perspective. I think it's few and far between. I think the value that you get here at the University of Pikeville with cost of living, the Keiko Advantage, and our tuition is a great value.
So cost of living comes into the equation.
Absolutely it does. And we have helped our students all secure housing and have worked with our great members of our community to find housing for our students.
Sure. And I know it's a growing concern, but it's something that the community has embraced, I believe.
Oh, they absolutely have. There are business members that have turned their businesses into townhomes and condos.
Sure.
And we've been able to say, what a great renter, a med student or
Right.
an optometry student. So if you're a landlord, wouldn't you want somebody that's going to be studying 99% of the time?
Sure, sure. It's not your Animal House type student.
No.
These are focused a little more on the classroom.
Absolutely.
And I've actually had neighbors in my neighborhood who have been med students. Some of the best neighbors I've ever had.
Quiet.
They're quiet, but yet they will get out and walk the neighborhood,
Yes.
and they will be neighbors. But you don't have a lot of trouble out of them because
No,
they are
not at all.
studying hard, and they do become very good neighbors. Let's talk about the application process. If someone's interested in becoming an optometry student, perhaps for 2021, what's the first step?
So first step, I'm hoping they've shadowed, and Brittany will talk a little bit more, hopefully, about that. But go to OptomCast. It's the centralized application system for all optometry schools. So you will find a lot of information there, as well as research the optometry admission test. That's a really important test that you should study for, and there are plenty of resources out there. So I would tell students to really go look at those resources, look at the information on those two sites, and that will help guide them through what each school requires with regard to their application process.
Sure. So the optometry schools have a specific exam. That's
They do.
one of the steps. You mentioned shadowing. Tell us what that is.
So shadowing, one, if you want to be an optometrist, you have to learn and see and discover whether you even enjoy the job.
I would
So
think
go
so.
work alongside another optometrist
Sure.
and see if it's something that you really want to do. We're all more successful in life if we do what we're passionate about.
Right.
So we hope that these students come in with a tremendous amount of passion for this profession.
Brittany, what other materials are required to complete the application?
Well, we want to see things. We want to see your transcript. We want to see OAT scores. That's the exam that Lauren just kind of touched on. We want to see your shadowing experiences. We want to see any type of activities like that you may have, any type of experience that you had go on. We're really looking for the well-rounded student that has just a lot of diverse experiences.
And shadow more than one physician.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Take advantage of the experiences out there and the different perspective from each of those shadowing experiences, I would imagine, would be helpful. 64 students in the inaugural class.
Yes.
Yes.
Brittany, how many students will be accepted into the class of 2021, and when's that deadline?
Well, for the class of 2021, we will be accepting 60 students. And the opening day for applications is July the 1st,
Okay.
but the application deadline is actually March 31st of 2017.
Sure. Get the process started.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely that's the one biggest mistake that I saw some students
Sure.
make, and is
Exactly.
waiting too late in the process. We're enrolling admissions here. It's first in, you have a better likelihood of
Right.
getting accepted, because
Sure.
we will move as quickly as we can to fill the class.
Absolutely. Lauren Hensley, health profession recruiter and advisor, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Leads, along with Brittany Hall, coordinator of academic success at Keiko, the Kentucky College of Optometry. You'll soon know when we say Keiko, you'll know exactly what we're talking about because it's quickly becoming a part of our community. First class arrives later this summer, and we're looking forward to that. Lauren, you're reviewing applications. Talk about the process for the inaugural class. As you reviewed applications, what's the selection process like?
Well, the selection process really has to do with a lot of the components that Brittany hit on, right? We're looking for leaders. We're looking for those that have been also volunteers and people that have given back in their community.
Sure.
Those that have expressed a clear interest in optometry as a profession. Those that are at the top of their class from academic institutions and have great academic backgrounds.
Right.
I tell you, we've got a lot of student athletes that know how to manage their time really well, that are coming into medical school and optometry school. So once we identify those candidates, you come on campus and you have an interview. And during that interview, it's really more of a dialogue. We want to get to know you. We are going to ask you some tough questions, but it's all really to identify whether it's a really good fit all around.
Sure. And it's those things that we tell all of our kids growing up. You want to be a good student. You want to be involved in the community. You want to be a servant and be a good citizen. Those things that it sounds like those are all important. And then, of course, the grade point and test.
Absolutely.
It's all part of it. Of course, Brittany, what can applicants expect if they're selected to come to campus for an interview? Tell us what that's like.
Well, I think that our students always find and will continue to find a very personal experience. They will have breakfast and lunch with all of the faculty. The students, along with their families, will get a campus tour so that everyone has an opportunity to ask any questions or concerns that they may have. They will also actually get to meet with the dean and speak with him one-on-one, and they will...
That's an experience in itself.
Yes.
Just to have a one-on-one conversation with Dr. Bazzelli, that's a bonus.
Yes, that's true. They will also see a presentation that day, and they'll see a presentation and
Interview.
they'll interview. They'll have a two-on-one interview.
Very good. As you would expect, but the interview process, I would imagine a well-rounded, good student who tests well would have no trouble with this. And again, it's finding the right fit.
Absolutely.
Every student won't fit with each school.
I think it's about where you feel home, right? I think that it's important to feel and to have students here that are going to give back to the community, certainly with the model that we have, but it's important for them to come on campus and make sure that this is their home.
Very good. If someone's tuned in right now and they're interested in applying to the class of 2021, they'd like more information about applying to the Kentucky College of Optometry, Brittany, how can they do that?
Well, they can contact us by phone or email. Our telephone number is 606-218-5512, or they could email us at keikoadmissions.at at upike.edu, and they can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, or they could go to our college website where they could find any other information that they may need.
Very good. Ladies, thanks so much for being with us. Lauren Hensley, health profession recruiter and advisor. Second time guest. We'll look forward to you being back again real soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being with us. Brittany Hall, coordinator of academic success at the Kentucky College of Optometry. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been tuned to Where the 99 Leads, a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville and the Kentucky College of Optometry, the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.